Hello, Moon Boy. Fantasizing about going to the moon again, eh? Have you ever put any thought into how to actually get there? I mean, you are called Moon Boy after all. Shouldn't you maybe go to the moon every once in a while? You've had an idea? And it's going to get you to the moon? Well, it sounds like you need an epic montage.
What's going on, everybody? I'm SquidgrowJoe here with Defi Shaun, as well as Rebel Matt. Guys, we have an amazing Infinaeon Friday today. Before we begin, guys, make sure that if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, and if you're watching this afterwards, comment down below. If you have any questions, same to the end of the live stream. We're going to answer as many of your questions as humanly possible, and we're excited to have this Infinaeon Friday happen today. It's a very special one because it's going to be probably one of the biggest ones for us.
Yep. All right. What's going on, everyone? Very excited to be back. We are just, 3 days away now from the launch of MainNet. So we're very excited, doing everything we can, make sure everything's ready for the 6th, which isn't going to be a problem. So getting ready for that. Now, we have a multitude of things to get to in the video. So definitely just want to kind of hop right in, make sure that we have time for everything. We always monitor the chat. So any questions you have, you can ask it throughout. And when the time comes, we'll go ahead and start getting to those questions. So first order of business is tokenomics. So we're having to make a slight change to the tokenomics, which is actually a big reason why Rebel Matt is here. He's a lot better at explaining numbers and the def stuff than I am. Basically, to give you a short version of what's going on is we've been advised by Presale. Not sure if they want to be named, but another marketing company we use. Obviously, we've been doing programmatic ads. We've been doing the meta ads, and we received a bunch of data. And kind of the numbers, we're kind of doing like a 2-to-1 return, which is okay. But when you compare it to other big raises that are doing 4-to-1, 5-to-1, we've definitely been advised on why our numbers aren't as high as theirs. The biggest being that we aren't doing promos. We were kind of, I guess, naive to the fact that we thought that we can sell what we're doing because it's such a great idea that the idea itself would sell it. Not necessarily the case. The feedback that we're getting from people that are interacting with the ads is that we aren't offering bonuses and different things like that these other big time raises are doing through email campaigns and all these different things that we do, kind of how we gather the data. Now, in order to do these promos, we had to create value for not only the Operation Phoenix holders, but the people that were already in. So with that goes with beefing up the LP a little bit to make it a little bit more liquidity available, but changing the numbers to give you guys that are already in a bigger % bonus at launch so that you have more money available at launch. But we do have a little tiny spreadsheet right here that Rebel Matt's going to come up. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up and Rebel Matt up to kind of go over what the new numbers are going to look like before we start our big bonuses. So the big bonuses are going to start rolling out around the 6th, same time as MainNet launch. You're going to start seeing programmatic ads promoting the bonuses. You're actually going to use a promo code along with the meta ads. We're also going to run, obviously, huge YouTube campaigns and different things like that to hopefully knock out this raise within the next 30-ish days. With that being said, one more thing, Matt, before you start, is that we are going to go ahead and knock the 4.2 million down to 2 million for the raise. So the main reason being, with already having holders like the Operation Phoenix holders, it made our job of doing bonuses and different things like that these other raises do, next to impossible. For instance, Block Dag was raising hundreds of millions of dollars, but they were doing like 120% bonuses and different things like that. We're not capable of doing that because we already have holders. We already have a solid community. We can't alienate you guys by giving these other people 3, 4, 5 times the amount of funds at launch that you guys are going to have. So since our hands are kind of tied, we're going to lower the raise, get it knocked out so we can go ahead and get that native token launched, which towards the end of the video, we're actually going to go over some cool stuff that we're doing with the native token and the approach that we're taking with the launch of that native token. But with that big rant, Matt, if you want to come up and go over this, I'll pull up this little chart for you.
Yeah. Hey guys, how's everything going? First time I've been able to make a live in a while, so excuse me if I'm not as great as John and Joe and Sean. But either way, all right. So, like Sean said, the whole big deal is we needed to be able to give higher bonuses to be able to draw in the big investors. That's one of the big things that all the other ones are doing. So we had to compensate for that. In doing so, as you can tell with our new market cap on the chart that Sean has pulled up, we're going to be starting at about a 10.2 market cap, 10.2 million. New launch price will be about 0.0244, and that's going to allow us to free up the tokens needed to be able to do the promotions, to be able to do the further stuff that comes along with a blockchain, the incentives to bring new projects on, and all that different stuff to get interactions. So that frees up a large portion of tokens to allow for that. Now, the holder bonus for the OPHX holders, that's a big increase from what originally we were going to do. It was a 10%. We feel that the OPHX holders are, they are our core backbone of this project, and we wanted to reward y'all for that. So as you can see, your bonus is going to be going up to 60%. So you'll have immediately out of the gate a 60% kickoff as we start. So, the original pre-sale holders, the ones that has already bought into the current pre-sale, they had a tiered section. It went from 8 all the way down to 1 to 0%. They're going to get grandfathered in, not at the 60% because they wasn't original OPHX holders, but they will be getting a bump up of around 42%. We're still tweaking those numbers, but around 42% is where they're going to come in at. Now, as far as tokens go, that number is going to change because we brought the market cap up, all that stuff. So whenever everybody was doing their math of how many tokens per dollar they're going to get and all that different stuff, that's now created off of the new price of the 0.024 instead of the original price we started out at 0.0154. So your token allocation is going to change a little bit, but your dollar value is going to, of course, go up by the 42%. So that's the main changes. And of course, dropping it down to only doing a 2 million raise, that's going to get us there a lot quicker. I think we could have definitely raised the 4.2 million with no problem. But that would limit us on the amount of tokens we had available for future promotions. And that's the biggest thing, is because we have to incentivize getting people on the chain, getting people using the chain, and by doing different things that our marketing agency has provided us, we'll have a lot more opportunity to do that.
Yep, perfectly said, Matt. And lowering the raise too, it's a good point that you made, is that again, giving away that many tokens because we had original holders and different things like that, it's just it was easier to go ahead and lower the raise. But with that being said, we're not quite ready to announce what we have in line because, again, the launch of the blockchain, the launch of the native token is just the beginning of it. We actually have more ways that we're going to be generating and raising funds. Those announcements, I guess you can say a little tease, will be coming soon. But just to kind of recap, the original OPHX holders, we created 10% more value. Now we're creating 60% more value. So essentially you're getting 50% more value, which for the record is kind of more in line. A lot of times what the other big boys do that are raising money is they give them that high percent because they're waiting so long. So the Operation Phoenix holders have been waiting 3-4 months for this to go. By the time it launches, probably about 6 months they will have been waiting. So this is also a thank you to them. So it kind of works out for everybody. And then the people that were already in, you thought you had an 8% bonus, 6% bonus. Well, now you're going to have a 42% bonus, and that will allow us to move forward with the different ads to really get that presale pumping and going, mixed with MainNet. So we're going to have some really big promotions, and we're trying again to wrap up this presale in about 30 to 45 days to again to get that native token launch, the blockchain fully launched, and then we can kind of move on to the next phase, which will roll into that thing that we're doing next, and kind of talk about it because it's become much bigger than was initially planned. But yeah, Joe, if you have anything you want to say about the uptick that everyone's getting and stuff like that, if you want to go ahead and touch on it.
Yeah, so a lot of people obviously going to be really excited about this, and this is something that we as a team, we realized, especially as time went on, that people that were obviously with Operation Phoenix are the ones that waited the most. So we want to reward you guys the most. Then those got involved in, obviously later on, with Infinaeon. We want to reward you guys the most. So we definitely wanted to reward those that waited the longest, but we wanted to have it trickle down. So we're really excited about this, and we think this is going to be massively beneficial to everybody. And this is our way of giving thanks to you guys. Shaun, Matt, myself, we could have all just pocketed money, and like every other project out there, every other dev team out there said, there you guys go. And the rest goes to us. We could have easily done that. But this is the kind of things we do to show thanks to this community. And we're really grateful for you guys, for everyone out there every single day, for everyone in the Telegram, everyone in the Discord, everyone in Reddit. And this is the kind of things we want to show appreciation for.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's a huge, I guess you can say, like you said, a huge thank you to everyone that's been involved. We're basically at the point where pretty much 100% of all fees are going back into the ecosystem. A big part of that decision is legal stuff. We didn't want to directly take any money from the blockchain. We wanted it all to go back into the ecosystem. Same thing with the raise. We wanted all those funds to go back into the raise. We wanted to make it a fully decentralized thing. So again, to where we're getting no payments for anything that goes on. So any changes we make, we get the benefits, and things like that as well, because our tokens and our NFTs and all that stuff that we own will be how we benefit, just like everyone else. But with the tokenomics being said and the amount raised changing, with all that being said, we'll kind of move into Lunar Pump. So Lunar Pump has been, I guess you can say, ever evolving. So as we kind of stated, it's not going to be ready day one. We are pushing like crazy, though, to have it by the end of January. We know how these things go. Time will tell. Next 3 weeks will tell if we're actually going to have it ready. Not sure if it's going to be available day one, but like we discussed on previous Infinaeon Fridays, we are going to make videos possible via YouTube and different video providers that let us embed into it, which is going to be really cool. But again, like I said, it's kind of evolving. So getting into it, we were initially planning on being Infinaeon chain only. All of us were kind of on the same page. This has to be Infinaeon only. We were consulting with tons of different people that work in the space, big people in the space that have done big things, that know how things work. And we were heavily advised and kind of talked about it for a week about how to proceed with Lunar Pump. So the options were to launch Lunar Pump and only have Infinaeon on there. And we're going to basically be trying to build the Infinaeon brand off the back of Infinaeon. Is kind of how it was relayed to me, which is next to impossible. We know in crypto, people don't like to switch. So in order to get people to Infinaeon, we have to entice people to do that. We have to get people on the platform. So instead of launching Lunar Pump with only Infinaeon and maybe having $10,000, $20,000 in volume a day and making very little fees, we're actually going to open it up and make it a way bigger product to where you're going to be able to launch pretty much any EVM chain. At the beginning, we're going to be looking at Base, BNB, ETH, Arbitrum, Matic, and the goal is going to be to put a huge marketing campaign behind it, potentially 6-figure marketing campaign behind it, to push this to the masses. Basically how Pump Fund has Solana cornered, and that's where everyone's at. We want to make Lunar Pump the place that everyone comes for all EVM chains, Base, BNB, ETH, Arbitrum, Matic, Infinion. And then once we get people on the platform, because keep in mind, the platform itself is going to be generating fees, which is just going to in return benefit Infinion. So if Infinion is the only one launching on a chain and we're doing $20,000 in volume a day, we're basically going to make no money. If it's launches and we're doing millions of dollars in volume every day between all these chains, that's going to be tons of money coming back into the Infinion ecosystem. So we're going to kind of build Infinion off the back of all these other Infinion chains, or EVM chains, I should say. And then once people are on the platform, we can do different things like, and just kind of spitballing to the audience right now, because nothing's set in stone, but do things like maybe for X amount of time, there's no binding curve fee. Once you bind, there's no fees, there's no percent of the volume, there's no nothing like that to entice people to use Infinion. So basically getting people to the platform with only Infinion was going to be next to impossible. So we're going to get people there via Base, via ETH, BNB, and then once there, it'd be a lot easier to transition to the Infinion blockchain. Now, with that said, again, the more volume, the more benefits Infinion as a whole. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. If I'm Matt, if you guys are Joe, if you guys want to comment on that. I know Lunar Pump is something Joe and myself super excited about. I'm actually, to be frank, more excited about Lunar Pump than I am about the blockchain itself. Super excited about this product.
Yeah, and for those that are, maybe new to the idea of Lunar Pump or don't know much about Pump.fun, it's the idea of taking a way of live streaming and a way of the everyday average Joe to create a token, to create an idea. And it can be any kind of token, any idea. So let's say you want a token behind, like, just let's say a dog, and say, hey, listen, German Shepherd token, and you work at a kennel, and you could put a live stream of this German Shepherds in the kennel, and then people can go on and buy your token. They could go on and purchase it. If you hit a certain curve, the bonding curve, then you're good to go. It goes live, and there's a lot of money to be made, and people want to get behind things like that. So it adds a little bit of and there's different ways to do it. It doesn't have to be live, I believe. Some people, I know Pump.fun, it's not live, but with Lunar Pump.fun, we know there's an option to have it live. So it adds a level of realism, a level of actual content behind the token. And it creates its own community behind what people are physically seeing. And we think that's something that everyone can get behind. Anyone could be the next rock star by just going and featuring their token, by going and hitting record or go live. So there's something that, once again, that Shaun, myself, Matt, everyone are really excited about, because it creates social media, live social media, and it creates crypto and combines them. And we find that those, when you add them together, you see a lot of crazy and fun and cool things. And Pump.fun kind of overdid it because they had no moderation. There's going to be certain levels of moderation, and we'll talk about that in a bit as well.
Yeah, I'll jump in on that too. This is going to really open a whole lot more doors, and not only that, it's going to bring back more revenue to the Infinion system. By limiting us to just the Infinion chain itself, we were closing a lot of doors that there's no need to close. We're trying to build up as much external revenue coming in to the Infinion system as we can, and this allows for it. And there's no reason to sell ourselves short by limiting our access to everyone.
Yeah, exactly. It took some, I guess, talking some sense into us, because again, we were all on board with just Infinion, but they are right. Building a blockchain is very hard, and we made it very clear since day one. Our goal is to make this a top blockchain, so we have to find different ways to be able to do that. We're also going to take a different approach with the native token, which is important to talk about that, because to get attention, I guess you can say. But I do have some questions that I want to answer, Matt, just in case I'm reading this wrong. I want to make you here so you can help me with this one in case I read it wrong. So why should the swap from ETH to Infinion be 3 processes? Can it be easy? For example, ETH to Infinion, then an option to choose if it is the wrapped Infinion or normal Infinion. But it's not a 3-step process. You can go straight from ETH to Infinion, the gas token, or straight from ETH to Infinion Plus, right, Matt? If you want to answer that, I guess, more precisely.
Yeah, I'll just kind of start the process from the beginning, just to make it easier. So if say you're on ETH mainnet, you're going to bridge your ETH mainnet to Infinion ETH. It's the same as any other ETH. It's just on the Infinion network. So you'll have a 1-to-1 value when you bridge over. While you're on the Infinion network, you're going to be trading using that Infinion ETH for whatever token you want on the blockchain. You don't have to wrap it. You don't have to do none of that stuff. It's just a simple point click buy. You're done. In the background that you don't see is where stuff gets swapped into Infinion, or the wrapped Infinion buys the token, sends it to you. That's stuff that the normal user doesn't even see. And the reason that is because it has to use a token to run through the LP pool system. It can't use a regular ETH. It has to be wrapped into a token version. So I think I'm understanding that question, the way you're putting it. You don't have to do none of that. You'll just be using Infinion ETH and buying tokens. But now you can wrap your ETH if you decide you have ETH you want to hold, but you would like to be able to get that appreciating factor. You can bridge over that ETH, wrap it, set back, let it set, and let it increase with the chain. But you don't have to do none of that stuff if you don't want to. It's just an added thing that you can do.
All right, awesome. Next question, Matt, because you're around just in case. So after binding curve, will the tokens be tradable on a specific Infinion deck? So Infinion itself, once it bonds for any token that's on the Infinion chain, obviously that would be on Infinity Swap on our decks. But Matt, correct me if I'm wrong. If someone launches an ETH token or a base token and it bonds, it's going to be available via Uniswap, correct?
Yeah, so each chain will be according to the biggest DEX on the chain. So if you're on the ETH mainnet, it's going to be Uniswap. If you're on, let's say, AVAX, more than likely it'll be Trader Joe, just because that's a big one. Uniswap's on, I think, Base, so it'll probably be Uniswap on Base. It just depends on the biggest DEX that's on the chain itself, because of course we want to have the most liquidity on the biggest DEX, making it the easiest tradable.
Very cool. So just to clarify about the bits, because there's people asking questions, bits are not changing at all, 5%. So gas fees, 5% getting kicked back, which obviously will start when we go live on the 6th. Same thing with the DEX fees. Same thing with Lunar Pump. Once it gets going, that'll be 5%. And keep in mind, we're going to be putting huge marketing campaigns behind Lunar Pump. Like I said, we're not playing around with Lunar Pump. It's actually going to be, again, even bigger than what anyone's imagining. Let's get past the blockchain launch and all that good stuff and keep this raise going. And then we'll kind of give you the details of exactly what's going to become of Lunar Pump. But yeah, it's going to benefit the ecosystem. There's going to be huge raises behind it. And just to kind of put it in perspective, what is it, Matt? Like sometimes millions of dollars per day that pump fund generates. Imagine that getting kicked back into the Infinion ecosystem. So it's a product, again, that we're very excited for. And I can't wait to get things going. What we got next up? Not staking available at launch. If you're asking blockchain launch, the Infinion token won't be out. If you're talking prior to the token launch, yes, it should be available. Hopefully a while before token launch. Wait and see, kind of catching up on questions too. Let's see what we got, Joe. If I were to get into presale this weekend, what kind of bonus am I looking at? So on the 6th, so I guess the front end of our page is going to end up getting a promo section at the bottom, which you obviously need a promo code for. If you get in before the 6th, obviously you get that 42% bonus. So that might be between now and the 6th might be the best time to get in for people that are aware of it. But once the 6th hits, you'll get like a, promo 10 or whatever. Let's say it's like a 10% bonus, just making numbers up. It'll be like promo 10. You enter the promo code and you get those bonus tokens. If you don't have a promo code, then you just get the price of buying it. There's no promo codes to enter.
Got a question from Meticulous Maestro on Telegram. What if we don't hit the target for the raise and we launch with this 662,000 in raised funds? What happens to the price, market cap, and foundation?
Well, yeah, if we decide to change thing, market cap, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, would change because we wouldn't be giving out, I guess, nearly as many tokens, the LP would be less. Everything would be less. But Matt, maybe that's a question for you, probably.
Yeah, so technically the market cap wouldn't change. It would remain the same. We would just have a lot more tokens that are not in circulation. That's the biggest thing. Now, to offset that, we could do a big burn for the tokens not sold, stuff like that, to be able to make that liquidity to market cap ratio change, to be a little bit tighter, make it not as volatile. But as far as price per token and launch market cap, that's set in stone. Now we've made the final switch, adjusted our numbers to where we need to be. So it doesn't matter what we raise. That's going to be the set in stone numbers. It'll just be a matter of what we decide to do if we don't hit that mark. If we need to make an adjustment, like I said, whether it's a big burn or what, to keep the LP ratio where we want it, that's what we'll do.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, that's what devs are here for. Then we got what we got next.
Question from Mustafa. He says, will bid holders also benefit from Lunar Pump or other chains?
100%. So I guess the revenue that it generates isn't separated. It's not like other EVM chains and then Infinaeon. It's all into one pot. So if we generate $1 million from base, that's $1 million in revenue for the platform, which obviously the bid holders will get 5%. So yes, it's 5% of the total platform, which is every single chain that's involved on it.
Yeah, and the flow of the G makes a great point. Pump Fund made 400 million last year, and that's with them only being on Solana. Having the ability to go to multiple EVM, being an EVM, having multiple chains. I mean, we feel like besides the fact that we're gonna add more interaction within Lunar Pump Fund than what Pump Fund currently is, we feel like this is gonna be massive, absolutely massive.
Yep, exactly. Base is the biggest one that comes to my mind because it's one of the biggest chains. There's what is it called? Base.fun or something, base.pump or something. But that no one's like really captured bases with any kind of pump fund system. So in my mind, base is a big time thing that can be brought in, and hopefully we can kind of, get the attention of everyone. And again, big marketing campaigns are coming behind this to hopefully get people on board. And it's EVM chain right now, but it's very much open that if this takes off, we 100% could add Solana and different things like that to it. So who knows if it keeps going the way it's going? I mean, and it takes off, we could potentially even add Solana and maybe even take over Pump Fund. So, obviously time will tell, never making any promises about anything, but that's our ultimate goal.
You got a question from Mitch. He says, can you please say the transaction fees percentage again?
Matt, what he's talking about for which transaction fees?
Okay, so the way Infinion will be, if you're on the Infinion blockchain, we're going to have a set added gas fee. It's 0.00001, 4 zeros and a 1. It comes up to, I think, currently about 1.50 cents, maybe. That'll be the gas fee. So everything's divided off that, the 0.00001. As far as transaction fees for the DEX, it'll be the standard across most all DEXs. It's a 0.25% fee. That's pretty much PCS, Uniswap, all of them standards on L2 liquidity, or I'm sorry, what is it? V2, yeah, V2 liquidity pool. So that's the standard. That's about the only other transaction fees that I know of. So I'm assuming it's one of those that he's talking about.
We also have another founder, the other founder. So we have Mike on here. Let me see if I can add him. Mike, you there, bro?
Oh, everyone's coming up. We even have some surprise guests that are kind of backstage that haven't even come up yet. So we're getting there. Like I said, this is probably a little bit longer than usual. But yeah, let's kind of continue knocking out these questions. What else we got, Joe?
A question from Favorite says, will Infinion be on Deck Screener?
I believe it has. How does that have to be integrated? That would be more Mike or Matt may know the answer to that.
Yeah, I'm here for such questions. It's the main reason I joined you guys. Very good streams. Hello, Infinion Army. So when it comes to DEX Screener, DEX tools, and such integrations or wallet integrations, we're on it step by step. We try to get integrated, to get listed. DEX Screener and DEX tools might not be too hard, and we will be on it as soon as MainNet is live. So a few days later, it should be possible, maybe a few weeks later, we'll see that. And yeah, when it comes to Trust Wallets integration, this will take longer time and a lot of money, but we have all connections. We're working on it. We're on the talks, And what I can tell you now, we will definitely have our own wallet. So you will be able to trade Infinion and the tokens or the tokens on the Infinion chain and our mainnet on our own wallet. And this is something we are working on right now. So yeah, that's from my side.
Awesome. Let's see what else we got, Joe.
A question from Timothy. He says, any great meme projects you guys know about launching / migrating to the new blockchain?
So let's not get into too much because we got so much to cover. But I think we do plan on going live on the 6th, and I know for a fact there's a multitude of projects launching. So we'll kind of get into all the projects that are launching and talk specifically in those projects. Obviously, Tim is from Hair of Trump, which I'm pretty certain they're going. So since they asked the question, we'll give a shout out to them. But yeah, we'll kind of get into that on the 6th when we go live for the launch of the blockchain, and we'll kind of hang out for a while and just kind of monitor everything. So I also want to go back to this question too right here, Joe. With Lunar Pump, we'll be able to build on different chains. Yes, if I'm answering the question correctly about what you're asking. Yeah, if you want to, for instance, launch a token on Base through Lunar Pump, you'll 100% be able to do that. So just so everyone's aware, right off the bat, we plan on having Infinion, obviously, Base, ETH, BNB, Arbitrum, and Matic. Now, I know for all you BitRock fans out there, I know Mike is making it a point that he gets BitRock on there, which, again, we're all big fans of them. And so we are going to continually add more EVM chains, but that's the biggest ones and most important ones that we want day one with the first version of it. So just so everyone's kind of aware of that.
And then we got a question by William. He says, what happens if the token gets into Binance?
I'm assuming you mean just the native token getting listed. I mean, can't make any promises on what happens, but you can kind of go look at the history of what happens to tokens that get listed on Binance.
Yeah, Bakar has
no promises about listings, but
yeah,
everything is possible. It depends on market caps, and yeah, we have a layer 2 blockchain, so the blockchain itself won't get listed on Binance. It will be the native token, and for that we need a very high market cap. And yeah, we are not a meme token, so we need a bit time. We are not like Pepe. It moons and it gets listed everywhere because they know they're making a shit ton of fees out of them. We are building something real, and so we will be definitely on centralized exchanges step by step. If we reach a crazy high market cap, even Binance is possible. Definitely. We have all the connections we need. It's a money question. It's also a time question. You need to be kind of stable project. You need a lot of funds. Everything needs to fit perfect together, I would say. And we're definitely here to be a very long-term project. So yeah, no promises, but yeah,
Mike,
we will get a lot of cool listings.
Mike, you're having some requests.
Oh, I'll be back. So now we have it.
you gotta really hear him when he gets like heated and me and Mike are yelling back and forth at each other. That's when you really hear.
You want to get that?
They all know me. They all know me. I try to speak. I try to speak a good English, but yeah, if we, and it's the truth. It's very often we yeah, it's heated. We wanna give the best for Infinion, for the community, for the project, and it can happen that I come in kind of rage mode or something like that, and yeah, then I'm the Austrian, so you can definitely hear the honors in me. So, but let's go on. I'll be back later.
So answer that real quick. 10.2 million will be the starting market cap.
Hey, I was going to jump in because I keep seeing a lot of questions about Lunar Pump, I guess, on different chains.
Yep.
As far as the, I guess, requirements or the ability to change around Lunar Pump, it's kind of a set in stone deal. It's a meme setup. It's a zero tax token setup, to where you go on, you set it up with the basics and you launch. It's not a tax token. It's not a rewarding token setup. It's a strictly zero tax meme fun token setup.
And if I'm not wrong, Matt, contract renounce, LP burnt, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, that's correct. The LP will be burnt soon as it bonds. So, like I said, you won't have to worry about LP being able to be taken back out of it or anything like that. And that'll be across all chains. So, no matter who creates it, they won't have access to be able to pull that LP once it goes into a bonding.
Yep. Now keep in mind, like with any meme, people that launch it can buy early, dump their tokens after bonds, things like that. But from as far as straight rug pulls and stuff like that goes, it's something that you pretty much can't do.
Yeah, of course. Just like how Pump Fund does, the creator or dev, as you call it, of the project, they have the ability to do a first buy. We haven't set what we're going to limit that to. I don't want the dev to be able to buy 50% of the available tokens or something like that. So we'll probably set a limit to that of how much they can buy as far as the first buy, just to kind of help limit the amount they hold on the very start. Now, once it goes live, of course, they can buy with any wallet they want, as much as they want. That's their prerogative. But we're trying to help the initial to where people ain't getting bought on top of everything that the dev bought up.
We have another question. It's a bit of a two-parter question, actually. It comes from both Deplorator and Mohammed. Deplorator wants to know about a wallet, and Mohammed wants to know when we're going to have an app built.
So we actually had a meeting with the wallet team yesterday. Now all that's going to kind of come again in phases. Remember, adoption is the hardest part. So right off the bat, we want people to be able to utilize Infinion via the ways that they're familiar with, the wallets that they're familiar with. So we kind of, it's already hard enough getting people over to the blockchain. So we're not going to be like, well, hey, the only other way to use the blockchain is download this new wallet that you've never heard of. So we do plan on having our own wallet. It's just going to be a little bit later on down the line, as adoption is our main focus, and getting everyone on Infinion blockchain, and then of course the Lunar Pump, and then we'll kind of worry about, once we have a huge community build, getting into the wallet and different things like that.
The question from Mitch, he says, how customizable will the Lunar Pump or Launchpad be? He follows up by saying, per token, minimal burnable, LPing, increase total or decrease supply, to add Telegram, webs, any like social media, basically.
That's it. That's you, Matt.
Okay, so Lunar Pump is not going to be what you're thinking it is, Mitch. Lunar Pump is, like I said, a meme token. It's straightforward, zero tax, launching a meme. We will have a token builder that we will integrate into Infinion, blockchain. Now that's the one where you can, customize it, be able to do a zero tax, do a, taxable, do a reward token, stuff like that. They're two totally separate things. But you'll have many options as far as kind of customizing how you want, depending on which platform you use.
Actually, got another question. Actually, kind of goes with it. They want Only Up says, what's the fees for Pump Fund? I guess Lunar Pump. I guess he wants to know the fees associated with it.
So, Matt, I don't know if you want to answer, but it's going to kind of be similar to Pump Fund. There's going to be a binding curve fee, a small percent of volume, and different things like that. But I don't know if you want to elaborate it on, Matt. But yeah, that's basically how it's going to work.
Yeah, I can elaborate a little bit. So Pump Fund, they charge currently a 1% volume fee, and I think it's around 30 something percent bonding curve fee. We're not going to set ours up that high on the bonding curve fee because we're just trying not to take away from projects like that. We want the LP to be strong, but we will have a bonding fee, and we will run the 1% volume fee.
Yep. So again, just trying to beat Pump Fund in every kind of way, even though they're an indirect competitor because they're basically Solana. We're going to be EVM, but yeah, still trying to be bigger and better. And again, every product that we create, I know some people kind of have problems wrapping their head around this because no one does it, but everything we're doing, we're generating with the blockchain and everything to go back into the blockchain. Again, I can't stress that enough. And yeah, once the thing's up and running and we have transactions and everything like that, people are going to see that we're not joking about what we have coming and how this ecosystem is going to work.
Jim Bob says, can you give people a perspective on the requirements to actually launch on BNB?
I mean, Matt, that's you again, but are you referring to, I'm assuming, Lunar Pump?
That's what I think it is as well. You didn't really get much clarification other than that.
I think he's meaning Binance. I think I seen him comment under that Binance. I'm assuming he's referring to the Binance exchange. That's a question for Mike, but that's not even in the realm of anything that we're going to be handling at the start. You have to have tons of volume, huge market caps, and the listing fee is huge. So that's
Yeah.
something that comes down the line.
Yeah, I don't need to say anything because you answered. It's really expensive, yeah. But it's possible.
And then we got a question from Telegram. Spock says, were you able to launch a tax token in Lunar Pump Fund?
No, Lunar Pump Fund will not have tax tokens. Like I said, it's strictly a zero tax meme setup. There's no need to set up a tax token for that. It's a what it is. It's fun. You'll be able to jump on, create a token. People can buy and sell it. If it bonds, it goes to the DEX. If somebody's wanting to do a tax token setup, they'll either have to wait for the token builder to go live, which we haven't even been worrying about that right now. Lunar Pump is the next big thing that we're worried about after we get the chain live. Otherwise, they'll just have to contact a dev and have them build it for them.
Yep.
And then we got a question by VIP says, have you allowed to sign up on the threshold for the NFTs yet?
I'm assuming you're talking about the threshold of when the funds get distributed. We haven't necessarily. We'll probably just leave that up to Mark. Obviously, it has to make sense from a gas fee perspective. Touching on that, though, what is it? Mint.operation Phoenix.com for the NFTs. We're basically going to be taking that site before the 6th and rebranding it into Infinaeon, airdropping the new Infinaeon bits, and that'll be where you go to claim, just so everyone's kind of aware of what they do to be able to claim. So that should be available day one. If for some crazy reason Mark doesn't have it coming up, that 5% will be going to a smart contract, and it will be waited for it to be set up so that it can be distributed. So one way, shape, or form, starting with that first transactions, the bid holders are going to be taken care of. Just kind of wanted to throw that out there.
And then we have one by Favor. He says, what time will the launch take off on Monday?
Did we say 3 p.m. Eastern? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember exactly what we said.
Yeah, I can't remember an exact time we set. Like I said, launching a blockchain is not like launching a token. It's not a race type deal, so it's not a got to go at the exact moment type deal. But and launching a blockchain is a big deal. You're talking about 15 to 20 smart contracts deployed between ETH mainnet and Infinion. We have our fee distributor that handles the gas fee splitters that has to be deployed, and then the chain's forked on top of that. There's a bunch of stuff going on, so it's a kind of go by the seat of our pants, till we get it going. But we're shooting for midday on the 6th.
Yeah, midday Eastern time, so everyone's aware. So like what, 8, 9 p.m. UTC time, like up in that frame, just so we're kind of clarifying, because I know everyone's from different time zones.
And then Bill Drip Break said, did you notice crunch the numbers on the possible bit revenue with all the chains added?
So there was really no way to, I guess, to get it with Lunar Pump being in there. We did kind of crunch the numbers on what it would look like doing like 10% of Binance. I want to say I did a YouTube video on it. If you go to my YouTube channel on Krypton Cause, I want to say if you scroll down a couple months, you can find it, or I can share it as well. But yeah, if Lunar Pump's successful, no telling what that 5% could look like. Again, only time will tell. And again, we can never going to make promises on any products we sell. We never guarantee a return, nor could we. But yeah, you can just kind of use other stuff as examples, like Binance transaction fees and different things like that.
Got a question from Infinion Jimmy says, have you worked on a 90-day staking APY?
So I want to say, what was it, guys? Mike, it's 5% for 1 month, or what is it again?
I think it was 10% for the 90-day, and then 5% for the 30-day, if I remember right.
Yep. And then day one, there's going to be a wallet sitting aside that's going to be collecting 5% because the staking's not available day one. So what we're going to do is that wallet will be collecting that 5%, and we haven't figured out the time frame yet, but there is going to be a staking pool where you get 5% of the gas fees. Of course, we can't estimate an APY or anything because we don't know how many transactions there's going to be, how much gas fees are going to be generated, but we are setting up a staking pool. If you want to take the chance and get 5% cut of that, that's going to be available. It'll probably be higher than the current ones we have set up, but should be available before token goes live is the ultimate goal.
Guys, we're going to go ahead and answer the rest of your questions. But before we do, and if you have any more questions, just get them ready. We want to bring up Mr. Pixel and Adam as well. You good?
Yeah, we can bring them up and let them do their thing before we continue. Yep.
So there we go. Mr. Pixel and Adam, what's going on?
Hey guys, what's going on?
Hi guys, hello.
Yo, what is up, gentlemen? How's everyone doing?
What's going on?
How's it going?
Some bullish news, guys. Really excited to hear all this amazing news, the multi-chain stuff and everything. It's awesome. Super bullish. Cannot wait for this to drop.
For sure, but yeah, if you guys want to kind of go ahead and share with everyone,
yeah,
what you guys
if
been
you
working
wanna,
on.
I don't know if you have that video. If you want to drop it, Sean, and then I can kind of get into it.
Yep. Joe, I sent it to you.
All right, I'm pumped. I can feel that volume pumping already. Yeah, so there it is. We're going to be launching a volume bot for Pair here very soon, specifically for Infinion. Obviously, we're going to try and get this out as soon as possible, hoping to get it out around the same time as Lunar Pump launches, if possible. But I'll keep people up to date on that. Obviously, it's a huge incentive for people to launch on Infinion is having these solutions on there, having volume bots, buy bots, and all that kind of stuff. And I think I saw lady from Men Talking asking about buy bots and stuff. So that's going to actually be next. Once we get the volume bot done, we'll be launching that soon after. We'll be getting to work on it. Some awesome news as well regarding it. It is the same creator or builder developer of the Infinium blockchain is actually building the bot. So we built up a pretty good relationship with DeFi Mark as well here. So we're we're getting him to help us build this out. So I mean, I couldn't think of a better person to actually to build the bot than the same guy that built the blockchain. So that's awesome. We're driving really hard for that right now. I can give a quick rundown on the bot itself really quick here if people want to check it out. I'll make this quick in respect of everybody's time. I'm going to share my screen right now. Let me see where that is. Window. There it is. Okay, there it is. All right, so this is currently being fine-tuned and tweaked, so this is kind of an early look at it, but it's going to be totally web-based. And our whole goal here is, because a lot of time when people launch coins and tokens and stuff like that, they want, once you hit the bonding curve, you hit the chain, it's like, oh shit, what do I do now? Sorry, excuse my language. but yeah, so we're kind of trying to make this as simple as possible for people that don't really understand, the really hardcore settings as well. So we're going to make it a quick 3-stepper. We're going to have it on Base, Ethereum, and of course, Infinaeon is going to be our main one. And also, our whole goal here as well is, like the guys were talking about earlier, is to entice people to come on to the Infinaeon chain. So with the volume bot also, once somebody hits that bonding curve on Lunar Pump, we will have an upsell there for the volume bot right away. And when people are launching on Lunar Pump, we will also offer, special offers for people if they're launching on Infinion specifically, like extra percentages, discounts, special offers on the volume bot if they launch on Infinion. So we'll be looking at things like that in order to, to kind of entice people, like we want them on the Infinion chain and push for that adoption, like the guys are laying out. So we want it, you come in, you can pick your chain, and then you can select the perfect package that you want to suit your needs. And all of these are customizable as well, but we want to kind of offer something for all the different stages that a project might be in. So we have Just Ripe. Now these numbers are they were just thrown in there. They're not exact numbers, but it's just a rough idea, a gauge for now. This is all going to be fine tuned. We have Just Ripe. And the idea here is each one would offer, a specific thing. You can see here's 12 hours, 24 hours, 150K to 750K volume. These are just examples. It shows you down here then what size of the buys that you can expect to get. And it shows here in this little legend what those buys would be. Then we have pair support, got juice, biggest pair, 100% organic, showstopper, custom, and then you have a diamond hand for filling up those wallets and stuff. And I'll just give a quick rundown here on what exactly these are going to be. So for Just Ripe, did your project just launch? Looking to help build and maintain early momentum? This is the package for you. Frequent to small, medium-sized buys over 24-hour period. Boost your volume by this amount. So, and obviously, like I said, you can come in here and slightly tweak some of these, but then we have a full customizable option too, where people can, really fine-tune it exactly to what they want for those that are a little bit more experienced. And you have pair support if you just had a CDO, community takeover. Ideal for projects rebuilding their community, looking to keep their project alive, 7 days, 25 to 30 small and medium-sized buys per day. Got Juice, this is for project steady uptrend, looking to increase momentum, adding fuel to the fire. So we have all these kind of easy little descriptions that will show people, so when they hover over the eye, that little note will pop up. And there's the custom option right there. So you do all that, and then you enter the token address, and you can go to payment. Sorry, I got the kid screaming in the background there. But yeah, so you would put in your token address here, and then you get to your payment, and we will be having a new feature as well that we're planning on dropping when we do launch it, called the Pump Fund. And basically, what it would be is we would create a separate wallet where the community can actually fund the bot, and as soon as it reaches its threshold and fund, it would go live at that point. So that's another feature that we're going to be offering for first-time users and all that stuff. And hopefully we're going to be able to roll all of these out, but they will be coming. We're going to get the minimal viable product out right now, just so we can get it out in time and as soon as possible. But yeah, that's kind of the gist of it right there. I just said I want to give everybody a quick look. Adam, if you want to jump in here, I'm not sure if you've got anything else to say, please.
Yeah. So nice to be on here on Infinion Friday, guys. Always love the show. Always great to be putting this together, especially for Infinion. With regards to the pair, as you know, pair is going to be migrating to the Infinion chain also. It's not going to happen right away because we did take on this volume bot and decide to work with that. It will be a rev share model with the volume bot, which will directly benefit the pair token. So percentages of profits from the volume bot will be redistributed back into buying and burning the pair token. And it will also be a percentage being distributed to the NFT holders. So that's kind of how we're running it back into our community. And just like Pump Fun or just like Lunar Pump as well, the bot will be multi-chain, so we can maximize, users and as much
Definitely maximize the
transactions as
rev share.
possible.
Yeah,
Exactly, maximize that rev share across all chains, but it'll all be coming back in and helping grow the pair token as well on Infinion. So the migration and stuff like that, because it's been worked in with the contract with that rev share model, we haven't announced the date yet, which we will. I know Infinion is going live, the blockchain itself is going live on the 6th, but the pair token won't be going immediately live because of this. So we're just working that in with the contract and to cater for all that kind of stuff. So it still is available on Sol right now. But once we migrate, just stay tuned with the pair community and stuff about the migration dates and how that's all going to work.
yeah. Number one priority is basically get these applications and software ready for Infinion, so that when adoption comes, people aren't waiting around. It's like, oh, I'm waiting for them to get a volume bot over there. I'm waiting for this bot or whatever it is, So we're like, whatever about the migration, that's fine. We don't have to worry about that for now. Let's stay as we are and get the volume bot up and running. So, all right, we won't take up any more time, guys. I think we got everything.
Yep.
If you got any questions, please feel free to ask. But
yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Obviously, Mr. Pixels and the crew, a huge part of everything we do. Provide us some amazing content. No doubt, Lunar Pump will definitely benefit from them. That viral video hopefully will go viral. I should say, I want it to go viral. The video that opens it, that'll be really cool once we kind of get that up and running. But just to kind of cover the last thing that I wanted to touch on is about the native token itself. So these past couple of weeks, we took the break from Infinion on Friday, obviously, but we didn't take a break from everything. Everything's right around the corner. The blockchain's on the 6th. The native token will hopefully be very soon after. Knock out this raise. So obviously, everything's becoming a reality, and we need to get everything figured out 100%. Tokenomics, everything about the blockchains figured out. We went over the tokenomics. So then the next question we had that we asked ourselves, and we asked a bunch of other people that, again, that are very smart, have done a multitude of things in the space, is the native token launch. So we finished raising the amount that we want to raise. There's going to be a 6-figure budget to market this token. So we have the option of launching on the Infinion MainNet. Now, with that, we're going to be spending a lot of funds. And it's going to be hard, I guess you can say, because part of it is not going to be just, hey, buy the token or sell the token. It's going to be educating people on how to get to Infinion. So we figured with everyone that's getting in the Infinion native token, the best approach would be to initially launch on ETH MainNet. Not only is that going to be beneficial to everyone that's holding, it'll benefit the marketing campaign as well. But if that thing takes off, that will also be the number one marketing thing we can do for the Infinion blockchain. If that token takes off on ETH, which no reason it shouldn't, with the connections, with the budget, with everything we have, that will draw people into Infinion. And again, the name of the game is getting people over into Infinion. If we launch the native token only on Infinion, we're kind of wasting an opportunity to get it out to the masses, to get it out to all of crypto, just like Lunar Pump. If we only did Infinion, we're kind of losing out on that marketing that we need from everyone else. So in that same vein, we're going to do the native token launch on ETH MainNet to give everyone the biggest possible chance for the most volume and for the most attention to get as many people going towards the Infinion blockchain. And Matt, if you're here too, Joe, if you want to comment on that thought process and why we decided to go that route.
Yeah, I can jump in first. Yeah, it only makes sense. Just like Sean had mentioned, at the start, trying to build Infinion off Infinion is a very hard road, very slow road. We want to be able to build it off of everything else and bring people into it. Just like Joe always says, green candles brings people. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're trying to accomplish. Once we get launched and live and kicking, we'll be able to draw people straight into Infinion. A big thing about it, all utilities is going to be on the Infinion blockchain. So your staking and all that stuff. So anybody that wants to take part in that, they will have to bridge their tokens to the Infinion network, have it on our chain, stake, do all that stuff. We won't be able to utilities on ETH. Just main reason is gas is extremely high. There's no need to do that. So everything will be on Infinion. The token launch will start out on ETH, and that's not uncommon. You look at any of the main layer twos, any of the even layer ones, they always pick one of the bigger networks to launch the main token on. Why? Because that's where everybody plays. That's where everybody is at. There's no sense of shooting yourself in the foot right out the gate by not doing that.
Yeah, that's a very good point that I forgot to mention. It's actually written on my paper right here, but forgot to mention is that 0 utilities are being built on ETH. So if you want to participate in the Infinion ecosystem, yeah, you can buy it on ETH, but you have to bridge over to Infinion, which is going to be super simple. Mark will have a good, secure bridge where you simply just bridge over to our network. So again, that's just part of the way of enticing people to get over to the Infinion network. Because again, people are right. We were just trying to build Infinion off the back of Infinion. And again, we have to do these other things to get people's attention to, again, bring awareness to the Infinion blockchain.
It's the idea like all roads lead to Rome. It's all roads lead to Infinion. It's just those roads are what we're creating them to be. And some people might say, well, that's utility and fine, short. Yeah, but it's a utility of use. It's a utility that people can take advantage of. And that's what is being created here. It's something that you can use and tell others, and people get, if you're excited about something and you tell somebody else about something, then everybody wants to see where that leads to. And when it comes down to Lunar Pump Fund, it leads to Infinion. It always had led to Infinion, but there was a way for you to get involved, enjoy yourself, create something fun, or you don't even have to like create it. You can just sit back and buy and make money by doing that because you believe in, once again, X, Y, and Z, and then it always leads to Infinion, and that's the goal of what we have here. And we believe that Infinion is, besides everything leading towards it, it's something that people can be, come to directly as well. So there's this as well, and this has a lot of great things about it. And it's something that we're really, really, really lucky to be a part of and have you guys be here with us for.
And I do want to answer this question right here where it says Infinion ETH will work. However, will there be a set date it migrates to the Infinion blockchain, or is there a way to split some tokens between ETH and Infinion and have a single LP? So there's not a way to have a single LP. It very much would be 2 separate LPs. But as we grow, there's going to be a multitude of LPs everywhere. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, be it on the decentralized side, the centralized exchange side. So if we get on Binance, for example, it's going to be a separate LP than on the Infinion network or on ETH. Matt, if you want to elaborate on that at all. But yeah, if we're successful, there's going to be a multitude of LPs going everywhere. And again, it'll be like Bitcoin, like everyone else. People can arbitrage. It'll create transactions and everything like that across all the different chains.
Yeah, there won't be a total migration of any LP pools or nothing from ETH to Infinion. It'll just be additional LP pools added in the different places that we go. It's one of them things is you never want to limit where somebody can buy the token. You want to have as many routes as possible. That's always, a plus when it comes to a token. And arbitrage is always a big thing. And that will scale across, all chains, including the Infinion chain and everywhere else. And a big thing about, us being a layer 2, as we grow and build and all that stuff, we will get integrated in like how base is and stuff like that, being able to transfer your funds. Let's say you're in a centralized exchange that we're listed on. Currently you can be on a centralized exchange. You can move ETH, whether you're on the, want to move it on the base network for cheaper fees, or you want to move it on the ETH mainnet. There's multiple options. That stuff takes time to integrate all that stuff. And as that gets going, it makes it that much easier. So it's all just a way to make it as easy for anybody to get into the system as they can.
And Will then says, that was one thing you can say I was slightly wondering, how do we get people and eyes on the blockchain? This is not a huge way to actually save a lot of money on marketing. I just want to add to that. It's not just a way to save money on marketing, because it's going to be marketing focused as well. So it's just more ways to spread awareness. Besides marketing is to, get people involved as many ways as possible. Another question.
Another thing too, I want to add to that, Joe, is that the way I kind of looked at it is, if we only launched on Infinaeon and we spent that 100,000, we essentially wouldn't get 100,000 worth of marketing, because so much of it would just people would just overlook it because they don't want to get onto a new chain and different things like that. To where if we launch on ETH mainnet, that 100,000, if it skyrockets, that 100,000 can be worth so much more than that, because again, as Joe says, those green candles sell. So it can make that 100,000 be 500,000, or just throw an arbitrary number out there worth of marketing, is the way we kind of looked at it as well.
Yeah, crypto's founded on the idea of, oh man, you should have been there. I made X amount of money, or man, you could have gotten in this time, and then you could have, because people love theorizing. Everyone loves theorizing about how much you could have done or how well you could have done. I'll give you an example. The other night, there was a goofy Elon Musk token, and I bought some, and I made some money, and I hit my buddies up around 2 a.m, and I was like, hop in and get involved, pick some of this up, guys. And they looked at me like I was crazy. I'm going to sleep. Well, the next morning, I made money, and they're like, what happened? What happened? It's the best marketing is always green candles. It's always look where it was when I hit you up. Look where it is now. See that like roller coaster going up. You could have been there with me. And when it comes down to Infinion, that's what we want. I mean, don't get me wrong. We want people to be in the beginning and ride that roller coaster with us. We know nobody would want to be in the beginning, but once people see that roller coaster riding up to the top, they still want to get on. And the reason why they want to get on is obviously because they want to go higher. And with the ever appreciating blockchain, I mean, it's in our name. We are focused on looking to keep this roller coaster going higher. That's our goal. So, the foundation of what Infinion is a way to be a blockchain that's ever appreciating. So for those that see it like this, you say, hold on, we're not even done yet. We haven't even started yet, actually. You can still get involved. But once again, those green candles are always going to be essential, because the best marketing is always going to be green candles at the end of the day. We got a question from Bill Drift Break. He says, those currently hold that should be receiving the drop once staking goes live will be on Infinion mainnet, right? So won't have a bridge to stake on before launch, correct?
We'll let you know about that. So we'll talk to Mark. I know in my mind, it probably would be better, and then I'll let Matt speak on this too, to possibly airdrop on the ETH network, because then that will require people to switch their ETH over to Infinion bridge. It'll create transactions. It'll get people familiar with the platform. So that's kind of my thought. I'm not exactly sure how we're handling that yet. Again, once the blockchain goes live, we'll switch our attention to Lunar Pump and the staking. But Matt, I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
Yeah, more than likely we'll be doing the airdrops on ETH, the mainnet, for the simple fact of some people, they're not going to be in the system. They're not going to want to go to Infinion. They're wanting to be there for the hype of the launch. They're wanting to do all that stuff. And we don't want to have any confusion of where people get airdrops and all that stuff. So we'll do all the airdrops on the same chain, which will probably be ETH mainnet. You'll bridge over stake if you want to stake, do all that stuff. As far as I've seen one comment about the huge or whether it be huge gas fees to bridge over. I'm not sure how many people was involved with OPHX whenever we had it on ETH. And you were able to bridge back and forth. The gas fees were not terrible. They are higher on ETH, but of course they're not terrible. So it's one of them things that for us, it's the best plan to make it fair to everybody. Because we would hate for somebody to miss out launch because they got airdropped on Infinion and didn't bridge over and say they wanted to take some profits on launch day. Stuff like that, just to keep it fair and no hassle. It makes it easier.
Sorry about that. My nose was a little bit stuffed up. Yeah, no. So we're live streaming this, by the way, on 3 different channels: the Infinion channel, my channel, and Sean's channel as well. So that's why you might see a difference in numbers. You got a question from Anthony Parker. He comes and says, "Is there any calculation we can use to work out how many tokens we will receive now, or is it the same, just launch prices higher?"
Matt, do we have any calculations we can give now, or do we need to kind of get the spreadsheet ready for people to see?
I'm rereading the question. I kind of missed that one. The calculation. Okay, so the calculations, we'll drop an exact figure to make it easier for everybody. Once we're off the live stream, we'll do that in the TG. But basically, everything is considered off the new launch price, which is 0.0244. So basically your dollar value entrance. If you're in the pre-sale, 42% bonus. Take that amount and go into the token price that's launching. You'll know how many tokens you're going to have. If you're on OPHX holder, you're getting 60% bonus. Take that dollar value and divide it into the point, or the 0.0244 into the dollar value. You get the number of tokens you're going to have. But we'll drop a calculation for that after the live stream.
And then Eric says, "Will NFTs be on ETH at launch?"
Matt, it's on the Infinion ETH, right? People
Yeah,
because that's how
the
they're
NF.
maintain it.
Yeah, the NFTs will be on the Infinion blockchain, period. That's where all the money will be sent, that you'll claim and all that stuff. No NFTs that has to do with the bits. Now, I ain't saying there won't be anything else that somebody else might do, but as far as the bits are concerned, they will be on the Infinion blockchain.
Jim Bob says, "When will you airdrop tokens to wallets?"
So again, after the blockchain goes live here in the next few days, we'll start turning our attention to Lunar Pump and the staking, because obviously we need to get the bits taken care of, and then we'll turn our attention to that. So it'll be sooner than later.
And then Favor says, "Are you going to have a conference later on for Infinion?"
I mean, I'm assuming you mean like a Bitcoin conference type thing. I mean, hey, why not?
It'd be really cool to have like a meetup and whatnot. But I mean, these are the kind of things that we definitely focus on later on. Don't get me wrong. It'd be awesome. It'd be fun to hang out, to meet everybody. It'd be really, really cool. But once again, the goal is to get Infinion launched, to get Lunar Pump launched, to bridge out to all these chains via them, and then to bring everything back over to Infinion. So once that's all rocking and rolling, once we have, and the live stream numbers, I mean, they vary, but they're always increasing as we enter the green market. It's always going to increase. There's going to be a lot more people here because of that. And once we get to that point, then it'd be cool to go to a conference for us to hang out. It'd be really fun. But we're definitely focusing on the goals. The goals is obviously to make Infinion as massive as possible. Guys, we're going to be wrapping up the questions. If anyone has anything else they want to say, let us know right now. But we're looking to wrap everything up. We appreciate everybody who's been here today. My voice is a little coarse still. I'm getting over a cold. But we appreciate everybody who's been here today. I mean, I know a lot of people still have a lot more questions. If you do, hey, if you can't ask them today, hop in Infinion on Telegram, hop in the Discord. We love to answer your questions. We love to talk with you guys. So definitely make sure to check out over there. Is there anything else you want to say, Sean, Nathan?
Yeah, we'll more than likely, I haven't talked to Joe about it yet, but we'll more than likely be back with a live stream on the 6th, where we'll have tokens launching on the blockchain on MainNet, and no doubt Joe will be there looking. What are you going to be looking for, Joe? What's the next what?
What do you mean? The next.
Look at the
Okay,
telegram, you'll see it.
hold on, Sean. No. I'll say, Come Rocket, okay, but hold on. Come Rocket is up today. It's up at 6. I didn't buy any, but it's at 68%. So it's we're gonna be the next Come Rocket.
Favorite quote: Joe's always on the lookout for the next Come Rocket.
You know what it is too? It's one of those things that Elon Musk, because if Elon Musk sees something and he finds it entertaining and just tweets about it like one time, that defeats millions of dollars of marketing. Like you can be a crypto and do millions of dollars of marketing. Elon says one thing, Come Rocket. Everyone's like, you know what, Elon? I guess I'm buying that. And that's what you want to be when it comes to Lunar Pump, when it comes to Infinaeon. We want to be that next thing where he looks at it and goes, you know what? That's pretty cool. And it doesn't matter how much you do in marketing, announcements for someone like that, influential, is always going to be massive. So we're really excited about that.
There we go, Come Rocket Joe.
They owe me a shirt, those people. and of course, Come Rocket, their token is called Cummies. Because why not?
So crazy.
Okay, guys, but we're gonna be wrapping up the live stream, guys. So make sure to keep an eye out. This Monday, we should be going live. So we'll go ahead and talk about that and get that sorted out, guys. Any updates will be on Telegram as well as Discord and Reddit as well. So shout out to everybody on there, by the way. Much love to you guys. I'm SquidgrowJoe, Defi Shaun, Rebel Matt, and Mike. Have a good one, everybody.
Hello, Moon Boy. Fantasizing about going to the moon again, eh? Have you ever put any thought into how to actually get there? I mean, you are called Moon Boy after all. Shouldn't you maybe go to the moon every once in a while? You've had an idea? And it's going to get you to the moon? Well, it sounds like you need an epic montage.